Blowing through abrasive and finding yourself falling behind and not knowing why? We probably have your solution coming up. Welcome to this week's Primed Insight. I'm Jerry Gooden, a project consultant here at BlastOne. I was on a job site recently for a customer who was having issues burning through abrasive and behind on schedule. They'd been averaging 600 to 700 square foot per day per blaster and about 5 to 6 pounds per square foot of GX2 garnet. They were running 4 Hyper 7 blast nozzles off a 1600 CFM compressor with 200 to 250 foot of 1.5" blast hose plus a whip. So this is what I did, and I'll explain why in a moment. With all 4 blasters going, I was measuring 105 psi at the nozzle. I put in a new Hyper 7 nozzle. The pressure went up to 130 psi. This simple change increased their daily production by a staggering 35 to 40%. After just changing the nozzles, they were now achieving 800 to 900 square foot per day, and the garnet consumption had come down to under 4 pounds per square foot. Here's one of the nozzles I swapped out. Doesn't look too bad, does it? So why did I change out the nozzles? They look good. I decided to measure this nozzle with an analyzer gauge, and it showed it was worn to just under half an inch. So here's a quick tip if you don't have a nozzle analyzer gauge on site. Nozzles are measured in 1/16 of an inch. Number 5 has a 5/16 orifice, number 7 has 7/16 orifice, and so on. A nozzle is considered worn if the orifice has enlarged by half a size, which is just an additional 32nd of an inch. An easy way to check if your number 7 nozzle is worn too much is to insert a 15 32nd drill bit into the rear of the nozzle, and if it fits through, it's time to get a new nozzle. And here's the value of a new nozzle. On this 100,000 square foot job, by simply replacing the slightly worn blast nozzles, they increased the nozzle pressure from 105 psi to 130 psi, which saved them about 12 days of blasting and used 4 truckloads less of abrasive. That is huge. Some of you may be wondering, how is it possible a worn nozzle can have such a significant cost and schedule impact on my project? Well, next week we're going to explain so it all makes sense. Thanks for watching this week's Primed Insight. We'll see you next week.